Hey everybody, welcome to Spitballin Cards. Tonight we're going to dig into Top Series 1 now that it's out. What do we know? How are the parallels? What do we think about it? But before we get into that, let's talk about who's here. I'm your interim host for the night. I'm Jeff from Blabbin' About Slabbin' channel. Scott is gallivanting around the country, so he can't be here. We've got Filmington, Bowman, Parallel and Prospect Guru, Filmington. We've got Chris, Baseball Card Addict on IG, and my co-host on Blabbin' About Slabbin'. And Ty is back. Welcome back, Teapot, from the Market Movers channel. It's good to see you back. Before we get into Top Series 1, we do want to ask Ty about something he's intimately involved with, and that's Cards HQ. How has that been going?
We've been open a few weeks now. It has been fantastic. Personally, just getting to go work in a card shop instead of having to fight traffic into Midtown Atlanta. I cut my commute time in half, and I get to walk in every day and see shelves filled with cards. Chris got a chance to come out and check out the shop for a friends and family event, so that was really cool. And so far, the foot traffic has been strong. You know, what's interesting is this shop. I think the store frontage portion is something like probably 8,000 or 9,000 square feet, and then we've got all the back of the house. And so you can walk out on the show floor, and there could be 30 or 40 people there, and it doesn't, come anywhere close to feeling like the place is actually full. But there's actually been really good traffic. They've got the usual people who came in on release day for Series 1, get in and get out, buy a box, leave. Other people hanging out. A lot of people going through dollar boxes. They've been moving a lot of cards, honestly. The biggest thing right now is just keeping inventory procurement going. So they just started doing the live selling and breaking on Whatnot. They have a lot of regulars already kind of coming in. I would say the hardest part so far for me has been having to dig deep for a brand new level of discipline when it comes to not wanting to buy and rip wax. I have not really had much of an issue with that for the last 4 years. I occasionally buy something, maybe pick up a retail box at Walmart or something, but now walking out on the show floor, there's an entire section of the glass wax showcase filled with Stadium Club, all three formats: hobby, compact, blaster. So I bought a few Stadium Club blasters over my break and not really gotten anything great. I bought a box of Series 1 and got absolutely annihilated. But overall, it's just been really fun to be there. I got to interact with some people who, were visiting, talk to them about their collections. So for somebody like me, a lot of people think that I'm constantly looking at and handling cards all the time. Historically, that has not been true. I'm building software applications. Now I actually get to go out and do that. The only other thing I'll say is this Saturday, I guess I'm not sure when we'll air this episode, but Saturday we actually are having a big Topps Rip Night event, which is going to be a lot of fun. There's still kind of some details being ironed out, but that should be a really fun event. I think it's going to be about 5 hours in the shop on Saturday night. So I'm really looking forward to that.
What's the date on that, Ty? Just in case.
The date would be, let's see, what's this Saturday? Shoot. Is that the 25th?
Okay. Of February.
I think that sounds right. Yeah. February 24th.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed seeing inside that show. Was awesome. The inside your shop was great. I love the breaking arena was really cool.
Yeah,
I was there with a buddy of mine, and we each ripped a Stadium Club box. And my wife and his buddy were watching via the YouTube channel as our Stadium Club boxes kind of blew up in our face, unfortunately. But it was a little. I'm sure they enjoyed watching our frustrations. But I like that aspect of the shop a lot. I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique twist, and it's been pretty popular so far.
Nice.
So is that ongoing? I did get a chance to watch Chris open his box. That's still ongoing all the time? If anybody walks in there now, they can open it and stream it on YouTube?
Yeah, there have been a couple instances where the stream wasn't running, and I don't quite know why, but I think they're just still trying to figure it out too. I know I've seen a lot of people pop into the stream itself and there's nothing going on. So then they're like, oh, what is this? I think they'd be better served maybe to just actually run it when somebody's sitting down. So if you want to watch, you can get, alerts on your YouTube app or whatever. But yeah, generally speaking, you can sit down and rip boxes, packs, anything there. We've had some people come in and open a ton of stuff, just spend a bunch of money and open a bunch of stuff for fun. So that's been cool to step out and watch as well.
What's the Billy Butler selection like?
Haven't seen any real hot ones yet. I'm keeping my eyes peeled. I'm going to extort Scott.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I bet
That-
you're going to see a lot of things come through that door that not a lot of people get to see, especially if you're saying that inventory procurement is an issue. That means you're selling a lot, which probably means a lot more people are going to come in with stuff to sell to you guys.
Yeah, the inventory really has been turning, and there are people coming in. Some of the regulars are coming in like every day saying like, what's new, what's new, what's new. They want to see what's hitting the show floor. But the really cool thing is when you're on eBay or any other marketplace online, obviously you have the benefit of being able to search broadly for whatever you're looking for, like, with specifics. But when you're in a shop, and it's similar to this at a card show, but when you're in a shop, you see things that you didn't even know existed that you probably never would have found on eBay. Like if you don't know what's out there, you can't really search for it. And that type of exploration is a little bit trickier when you're searching on a digital marketplace versus just seeing something right in front of you and being like, whoa, I didn't know that, that Kobe card existed or that, Mike Trout card existed. So that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I
Chris
did
has
have a
talked about
question.
this before. We're a little spoiled with living close to Burbank as our LCS, and you go in there and you're always seeing something different every time. And it does have more of a card show vibe where you're looking for stuff and you see stuff that you wouldn't even normally know what to look for. So yeah, that's nice, and I think we're all hoping that it's successful because that's a pretty good way to be a collector.
Yes.
Yeah.
Teapot, is the bar a daily thing, or was that only there for the gala, the party event?
That was just for the party. I think they may try to stock a little beer and wine, when people come in, but I don't think we have that just yet.
Is there a plan to more creatively source product? Are you gonna is that going to become like some people's like full or part-time job to do that? And how are you gonna what channels are you gonna use to buy product?
Right now, I know like Ryan and Carter get a lot of walk-in foot traffic, bringing things, and they actually have like an office where they can, bring people in with some privacy, talk through what they have. I'll say we're looking at some potentially interesting technology solutions to support that as well. I've got some ideas, and I'll just leave it at that. So I've been talking to Jeff about some stuff we might custom build on our side, but yeah, in general, I think their plan is still very much to go hit shows, to have people bring things in, and then to be probably just actively soliciting lots. If you go to their website, I think it's cardshq.com, or you email info@cardshq.com, you can send your collection details into them too. And I think they are doing looking at collections remotely as well if people have specific stuff.
Great. Well, sounds good, Ty. You mentioned that you had a lot of people buying Series 1 there. That's something we wanted to hit tonight. Now that it's been out a week, we've seen a lot of the images. We want to talk a little bit about what we think of it. There's some new parallels involved. I picked up a couple of blasters. So I've seen some Easter egg parallels, which are pretty exciting. And also there's a surprise comedian actor popped up on some Philadelphia Phillies cards. So Phil, what do you think so far? What's been your reaction, and what have you seen others' reaction be to 2024?
It's a kind of a way to kick off the season for baseball. The way it used to be positioned is it would be like the most major release that had come out in a number of weeks, but now we've got 2023 products or last year's products coming out in January. So the timing isn't as ideal as it would be, but still it ends up being probably the top selling product of the year. It ends up being very popular. I mean, the print runs are what they are because of this popularity. So what I've seen from I guess customer feedback so far, just like scanning through social media, I haven't opened any myself. I haven't talked to any hobby shop owners or anything, but it seems like a lot of people are disappointed in what they're getting. But maybe these are people that are new to Series 1, because I see this product as having actually a really high floor, even if you don't pull any of the big names, like from the autograph, from the silver packs or whatever, you don't hit like a key gold. A lot of those inserts actually sell really well in the first week or two. So if they actually, took the time to piece, and it takes a lot of work, especially if you're opening up a whole case to do that, you'd actually find that you're probably going to get back more than half your money back on most cases, I think, which is unlike most products. And this is one that's not geared to an ROI perspective. It's geared towards fun. Is it specifically marketed towards kids? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I know there's a lot of adults that do this. There's a lot of set builders that buy this product as well. So the fact that there's a lot of new parallels, and it's funny, Ephus Pitch, a friend of the channel, he posted up on his story today, I think, like, or a reel of like all of the different parallels or his favorite ones and and like when they started. And you've got some like the Black started in 2003, Mother's Day started in 2013, Independence Day starts in 2018. Like they're kind of all spaced apart. And then you get all these new ones that all come all at once. Granted, some of these are configuration specific. And I think that makes it even less of a threat to the existing hobby parallels if they're only in blasters or hangers. From my point of view, it's a success. And some of the feedback being negative from the people that have opened it and haven't pulled anything huge, that doesn't mean much to me because I think some of those people maybe weren't going in with the right expectations.
Yeah, Chris, what do you think?
I had the good fortune to open 2 jumbo boxes at the Burbank show. And well, good fortune's the wrong way to phrase it. But I will say that the cards look great. I think this is of the last few years of Topps that I've seen, this is like the best photography release that I've seen. The photos seem to fit. The design looks really good in hand. And I will say, I think the best thing that I've seen so far, the new design variations we're seeing with no borders and no team name, no player name. Some of those cards look spectacular. They look like little posters, or the best compliment I could give them is they look like Stadium Club cards, which, it's pretty high praise. But I think they look incredible. I don't know, Teapot, if you want to pull up a couple of the images that I sent you.
I sure can.
Look really good. Some of the gold mirrors look great. But if you haven't seen the design variations, like please just hop on eBay and take a look, because they do look like mini posters. But yeah, I also some of the golden mirrors are pretty incredible. Like the pictures are great. Like this first one is an Evan Longoria golden mirror SSP diving into the pool after they somehow managed to escape the Dodgers and get to the NLCS. Like that's a fantastic shot. Just a beautiful card.
Yeah, he's sort of like popping in there. Then you got the J-Rod.
Yeah, the J-Rod golden mirror. I mean, that might be the best. That's probably going to be the gold mirror image variation that gets the biggest price bump, like just for the picture. The last one I saw sell hit $750. It's pretty great. It's similar to the Celebracion insert, but I mean, that's just a phenomenal Julio Rodriguez card.
I did see that, and then I checked again like a few days later, Chris, and then I saw that it was gone. Or it was removed from eBay. Maybe there wasn't like an actual sold listing when I checked, but I was like, oh, okay, there's none available now. That's like actually a pretty good sign for new product. The fact that there's even less availability 1 week after release than a day.
Yeah, he's like holding up the trident.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a really cool card. This is probably my second favorite. There's Adley Rutschman from the Home Run Derby. You can see his name like up behind him. I mean, I wish there was some way they could have gotten, because if you remember the Home Run Derby, he hit from the left side, then he swished and hit from the right side. It was pretty cool to watch, but I mean, that's just if you're an Orioles fan, I mean, that's a phenomenal card. Unless you hate horizontals, in which case something's wrong with you. Yeah, and we got Trout with a samurai hat. Excellent choice. Hopefully we see more of that this year. I don't know if they're going to use samurai hat, but I just want to see Trout play more games this year. Hopefully we will get to see that.
They did the same thing with Logan O'Hoppe. Yeah, it's also the samurai hat. I don't know if it was the golden mirror, or I'm assuming it was. I just saw it on eBay and it caught my attention. But like, what do you think about when they are repeating sort of like the theme of cards a lot? Like this year, it's the year of the water and Gatorade bath. Like every other card, I feel like is that, which are cool. But when it's like overdone, then I feel like it kind of maybe loses some of its mystique.
I think in general, and I think Jeff could speak to some of this too, we like it looking back when all the SSPs have themes. And if you're able to get the whole collection together, back when there was like 50 SPs, 25 SSPs, and you could put them all together, they look incredible. Like 2018, everyone's on base with their hand up, or they're pointing or celebrating. If you get those together, they look great. When there's 330 SSPs, maybe it does seem like it could potentially be some overkill to reuse the same themes, but there are definitely different sort of themes in these. There's a lot of home run celebrations. There are a lot of Gatorade baths. And as we move along some of these pictures we got, we'll see some of the really bad. Oh, God, this Acuna card gives me all kinds of uncomfortable feelings. But Diamond Necklace, like, it's just, if you love Acuna, I think you love this card.
This is a little bit of a weird pose with this. Is this a man bent over? What is this?
It's him. It's his pose. He does like the silencer thing.
Okay.
That's
it's
awesome.
Kind of hard to tell. It could have been.
Yeah, and he's got like a
few things.
pink crushed velvet or metallic suit going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff, this is what you wore to the Burbank show, if I'm not mistaken. It's very similar.
It's true. Yes, it's definitely my red carpet show look. So
I feel like I'm wearing this when I open Stadium Club.
So 25 years, for the last 25 years, Chris, offline, you're saying how you were wearing Adidas pants, and those were out of style till recently they came back. So is this something similar where this is in style now?
Well, I mean, again, I am not the person to answer those questions, Phil, as evidenced by my 2-decade-long run of Adidas pants. But I can't imagine a suit like that ever not being in style. I'll put it that way. So yeah, this is Jason Dominguez. That's a cool card.
Beefy arms.
Oh yeah.
Usually we talk about, lower body, but
yeah, we got to give the upper body its due, Yeah, that's a strong young man.
Yep. Got the blue sky in the back. Great shot.
Yeah. All right. So Ty, you mentioned there are a lot of celebratory shots. This Adolis Garcia card is pretty cool.
It is cool. Really cool jersey.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Also beefy arms.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So this is Evan Carter's gold mirror. It almost seems like there wasn't enough Gatorade in this particular container that they threw on him.
Just the remnants of the Gatorade. And it kind of looks like water. We're not even getting the color of the Gatorade on this one.
But I do really like the ice cubes that are sort of bouncing off him up in the air. That's a really cool detail. I mean, I like this card a lot. I feel like as time goes by, if Evan Carter does what some people think he'll do, this card will end up being, it'll be right there with the Soto Gatorade bath.
This is the one I was talking about. You can see it's like, this is like truly like caught in motion.
Oh yeah.
In a totally in a really unique way. It's like smashing against his face, flying off.
So we've got Kyle Bradish in the dugout throwing a cup of water or Gatorade on his face, and we get the splash coming off for those of you listening on Spotify.
Yeah.
Cool shot.
Yeah, I mean that's a kind of like a modeling-esque kind of. He's got a nice jawline there.
He must jazzercise.
Anybody else thinking like maybe that's what he felt when he found out in January that he has a UCL injury? Like probably
just way to throw cold water on all of our positivity, Phil. All right, so the next couple that we're going to show here are some that I sort of pulled out as being the bad. Like the other ones were good. If you can't see this one, this is Garrett Cole, who was arguably, like, without a doubt, the best pitcher in baseball last year. All right, as a Strider fan, I can still say that. And the SSP Tops chose for him. He's standing at a podium in what appears to be like a long sleeve denim button down shirt. I don't know.
A kind of a collarless jacket type deal.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, none of us understand style based on the what I can see of the four of us right now. But this is just terrible. Like, he had a lot of great moments on the mound, and this picture I do not understand.
Even just his facial expression, and everything's just like, what's going on here?
Yeah. That one's rough.
Whoever at Tops does not pick this one, maybe isn't a biggest Cole fan.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was a Red Sox fan. All right, so here we have Zach Gallen, who looks like he did not think your inappropriate joke was very funny. Like, I mean, I don't know. I got nothing. I don't know who saw this image and was like, put this on a baseball card.
Are those Z's on his sweater?
I was wondering that.
I think it's like
snakes.
Isn't it like the chain link? I don't know. I guess I thought at first it was like the Dolce and Gabbana thing, but maybe it's
a bow tie. I don't know.
GQ chain link.
I see it now. Gucci something.
Gucci.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This card looks like there's a movie about Zach Gallen and Shia LaBeouf is playing him. That's sort of the vibe that I'm getting on this one.
Yeah,
I saw this and thought Shia LaBeouf too.
Apparently, the red carpet show is sort of a theme for some of these SSPs, and in some cases, like Acuna, it's kind of a winner, and in other cases, maybe not so much.
But yeah, Jeff is right. There are a lot of these red carpet ones, and some of them look good, and some of them just look like the players don't want to be there.
One thing that's really interesting, we didn't mention this about the designs, but for those who haven't seen this set in hand, I didn't know this until I opened it, that like the lettering on the team name and down below, like it's actually like foil. It's actually like reflective. In the images, it just looks like printed on kind of glowing text, but it's actually foil. It's actually really, really nice. So that just stood out to me as like, I can't believe this is like a Topps paper product. It felt a little nicer than that.
Yeah, definitely. Oh boy. Yeah.
Here's your boy.
I don't know. Cody, I mean, they did give Cody Senga a gold cup, which is great, but I don't know. He's just standing there in a suit and a t-shirt.
At least he's smiling. Unlike
That's
Zach,
true.
he seems to be happy to be there.
Yes, that's a good point, Jeff.
I should have found that true photo. Speaking of, we're moving into is where that rookie cup was just like floating in the card.
Yeah, that's right. Some placement of the rookie cups left.
It was just like hanging out by somebody's quad, just like.
All right, so yeah, if you can see the screen, T-Plus sharing one of the new parallels is they've removed all the design elements. So there's no team name, no player name, no border. So you just get these little posters. So this is just Acuna with no added anything.
Right.
It's just a
You
great
just get
shot.
the top logo in the
That's
corner.
it.
They put the logo on, and they zoomed in a little bit from the picture that they use in the regular base card because they don't have the border to deal with anymore. So they zoom in a little bit, but yeah, they look really nice.
Yeah. I think this is one of the best ideas, and one of the cards that make them look the best are the player combo cards. There's like a Mookie Betts Shohei combo card. This is an Acuna Albies card, and when you just take out the design elements, you're just left with this really cool picture of two, star baseball players, and they look great.
Yeah, they really do. Here's the last one.
Yeah, check out that Bobby Witt.
Yeah, it really forces you to pay attention to the uniqueness of the imagery, as you guys would call it.
Yeah, that's just a great idea. Topps deserves some credit for that one.
Yeah,
Definitely
and good photos. Without good photos, I mean, it's but I like it.
Yes, true. Yeah, the photos have been good this year. That's a huge thumbs up from most of the collectors and openers. There's a couple parallels that haven't been so well received. What do you guys think about the Easter parallels that you've seen now?
I'm pretty indifferent about them in general, but they actually look cooler than I expected. I think the execution on them, I thought they'd look campy or something. Like I know Scott loved the Halloween ones. I did not. Like I didn't think they were anything special or looked very good. But some of the Easter ones actually look halfway decent. I'll see if I can pull up some copies.
One of the nice things about Halloween is you had the ability to have matching with the team uniform, especially with some of the key rookies coming from Baltimore.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen enough Easter parallels to know if there's any sort of matching possibility. But other than that, I kind of agree with Teapot where I'm just like, is it really that different from Halloween? I don't know. I kind of just consider them both like a little cheesy for me, but cool for like people opening it. Me as somebody opening it, I'd want to pull one. Would I want to buy a single of one? No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
So there was I kind of like this like flowery background. I actually kind of like it. Do
you like it for
the cherry blossom ones or whatever?
Okay. Would you $225 like it? Like the
I sure would not.
Trying to get that? Yeah, no, definitely not.
Sure would not.
Another parallel that's getting positive feedback, though, is the team color match, which Ty has taken credit for promoting that idea. And what was interesting is when we first heard the idea, I thought it was just going to be the borders were the color, but they actually have some of the logos on the border as well as changing the color. And some teams look better than other teams. As a Brewer fan, I'm really excited how the Brewers look. I've not seen one in hand yet, but I think that's a pretty good idea. Ty, did they do your idea justice?
I think it's really well done. I think it's really cool. And you get a lot of variation with it, no pun intended, I guess, with like the color themes. Some of them are darker, they're a little more subtle. Some of them are bigger. I like the variety a lot. Like the Cubs one, I think looks pretty cool. I'd say the White Sox is the most underwhelming to me, and that I don't particularly like the Dodgers. But overall, I think they're really cool. The Tigers ones look awesome, in my opinion.
Does anybody know
some of the logo colors
on these?
Better.
The print run on these is, I believe it's 100. The true is either the true photo or these. Maybe it's the true photos that are 100, and these ones were like 150.
Okay.
I know they did. I think they did actually state it. I believe these are 100. Some of them might even state it in the listing. If I'm scrolling down here, doesn't seem like anybody's putting it in there.
Once you start to number stuff to 100 and 150, like in my opinion, from my standpoint, my gut reaction is like, this is kind of cool. It gives it like a base level of coolness because it's rare, right? Like the Taco Fractor, forget about the application of that and the prize, but like the fact that it was numbered to 5, to me, it's still kind of a cool card just because of that. And we heard about these the team logo cards, when we did our first episode. I think did we hear about it then? We covered this in January, but seeing it's a little bit better than what I expected. I'll say that. And there's a couple different variants, like you guys mentioned, that makes it a little bit cooler.
Yeah, there's like two different kinds of super rare. There's the numbered, and then there's like the unnumbered. And the numbered can be like, for some reason, you get like, it's like a safety net. It's like, okay, there's only 25 of these. Those are cool. But then there's like the mystery.
Yeah.
Like you see those like SSPs. You're like, oh God, well, how many? And you're trying to see how many there are by listings and stuff. So yeah, I mean, you're right. I think both of them definitely have advantages, knowing and not knowing. As long as we don't see 15, 20 of them up at one time, and we have a pretty good sense that these are rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about looking at a product a week after release. You really get an idea of how much is out there based on what you see on eBay. Like Phil said, it does take a lot of work, but there are a lot of people that get stuff up right away on there. And so it's good for us because we get to see a lot of the images and we get to have an idea of what's out there. One parallel that took a little while to show up was the special Philadelphia Phillies parallel with Kevin Hart on. Which is he a big baseball fan? I don't know. Phil, do you know anything about this, about Kevin Hart? I know that it's out of 52, which is a nod to his height, and they make him look small on all the pictures. But besides that, I don't know if he's a big baseball fan, or what his connection is. I'm sure he's friends with Michael Rubin. That might be
there. You go. Hey, he's probably a fan of Michael Rubin. Michael Rubin's a fan of his. But I who knows, man? He doesn't strike me as a guy who would be a baseball fan, but I've seen weirder things in my life. He's a guy with a lot of, he's very animated. Whether you like his comedy or not, he's just like he brings positive energy. So it's just cool to see him as part of the photo there.
I think the Schwarber is the best one. He's like sitting on the ledge of the card border design.
Yeah, he fits in that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say, like, we heard like rumors that there was something with a team that was going to be weird, and we couldn't possibly guess what it is. I'm just glad these aren't Braves cards because some part of me would want them if they were, but they're Phillies cards, and they're just this weird little niche thing that thankfully I will not make any attempt to get. And it's kind of a relief that it's not a Brave team.
We had talked a little bit about this, Chris. I'm not sure if anybody else knows the answer. Is it for all the Phillies cards, or is it just for select Phillies cards? Does anybody know?
I do not know. I don't know. I've seen it on Harper, team card, Schwarber. I'm trying to think. I saw Trey Turner, I think, but otherwise I don't. I'm not 100% sure. But I mean, if you just make sure when you're going through your cards, check your Phillies cards.
Yeah, you wonder how many of these will get passed up. And the other thing I don't know is if these are in packs the way hits are, where they're kind of reversed, or if they're just in with the other cards too. I'm not sure how easy they would be to miss. They're doing something, again, kind of bringing this pop culture and sports cards together. I feel like that's a good way to go to try to both build the audience as well as, I mean, like Chris said, even though he's not a huge fan, if they had been Braves cards, some part of him would have wanted some of them. So they are hitting collectors, and they're also, I feel like, expanding a little bit. So maybe we'll see more of that going forward.
Yeah, with football, with basketball, like I feel like there's probably a lot more like celebrities that are hardcore Eagles fans. So like Bradley Cooper might be one, right?
Yeah.
I think I've seen him at a few games. So
oh yeah, definitely.
Kevin Hart, based on my Google search, big Eagles fan. So then you start to see like the connections that actually aren't as like puzzling, and you're like, oh, that's awesome. Like Ben Affleck with like the Red Sox, eventually.
Or the fans that sit courtside for basketball. It's easier to notice. Yeah, maybe we'll see the Jack Nicholson, LeBron James.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, oh man, if anyone else murders their parents and sits courtside, I want that basketball card too, for sure. Does anyone know offhand if Jennifer Lawrence is a big Braves fan? Is that something I should look forward to in the future? I don't know. I will check it out though.
There is no MLB Louisville team, so I guess maybe she could be.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
What's interesting is maybe people start recruiting famous people as fans toward their team just so they can start getting them on cardboard. So Chris, maybe you should make a call. Just give her a call and ask her.
Yeah, that's I've done that, Jeff, and it doesn't go well.
It didn't
So
work
I'll try
out.
it again.
So what do you guys give this product? What do you grade it? What's your letter grade?
Yeah, well, I'll go first. I was a little high when we did the preview. I believe I was the highest of everybody, and mainly it was based on the design. Of course, we had to see how the execution was. I'm really happy with the photography. I'm not crazy about the insert sets, but I wasn't really before, so I feel like they've done pretty well. I haven't opened that much, but I haven't seen a lot of quality control issues. That seems to be pretty good. So um, I gave it an A minus, I think, last time, and I would stick there. I feel like it's for a mainstream release, especially for the cost. You can get a blaster for $25. You can get a hobby box for still under $100. So you may not make your money back, but for what it's worth and the amount you spend on it, I feel like it's a good time to open to. Chris, what do you think for grades?
I like your A minus. I would probably, I think I'm pretty much right there. I just wanted to add one other thing that I was really impressed with in this product is the team cards.
Yep.
I think I was talking to Phil about this, I think a couple days ago, but normally team cards, you just kind of flip by them and you don't really pay them any attention. But please look at them this year because the images are spectacular. They're almost all celebrating walk-off wins and they look amazing. And if you have a favorite team, this is probably the only year where I'm going to make an effort to get some parallels of the Braves team card because it's a phenomenal. It's one of the best games they had all year. Albies had a walk-off 3-run homer against the Mets, and boom, it's on the card. And the golden mirrors of the team cards are, from what I can see, completely different images as opposed to last year. There was a lot of regular shot, wait 1 second, and here comes the gold mirror. Very different. So there's another Brave shot with like Blooper in the outfield celebrating with Acuna and Michael Harris. I know that the two Red Sox team cards are two different walk-off wins, but I mean, please just take a look. And if you can find the design variations of those team cards, those look incredible. They're like little posters. So I'm going to say A minus. I think I'm comfortable there as well. I agree with Jeff.
Phil, what do you think?
Yeah, I think A minus is about right. I think I said B before just because I thought there's a lot of things that could potentially go wrong. Well, right now on DealerNet, sealed is holding up pretty strong. So you're looking at between like $76 to $83 for hobby box and closer to like $170 for jumbo, which is pretty close to like release day pricing. I know pre-release, a lot of people paid a bit more than that for regular hobby, around 90 or so, but that's a good sign. It's only been close to a week, little less than a week since these have come out. So these could come down. I suspect that they will. But the QC is something that we didn't know about when we were trying to assess the product back in January, and it looks pretty strong. They usually don't mess up the flagship releases, the paper releases. Usually it's more the chromium stuff from Topps that they butcher. So the two top corners, yeah, they're tough. I've seen a lot of white corners, but that comes with the territory of the design. And I don't think it's egregiously bad. I haven't bought any black parallels yet. I assume it'll be harder with those with the 4 black corners as well. So yeah, I'd say A minus. It looks like a pretty solid product given its intent.
Right on, Ty.
Same exact letter grade. I was going A minus too. I think Phil, you hit on something really important when you were talking about the guy getting frustrated if he didn't hit anything or whatever. But like that's the expectation, and we talked about kind of where print runs are on cards on the table on the SCI channel, and like I have no problem with the print runs. I don't have any problem with the fact that it has a black half of it is a black border, and there's going to be QC issues that'll just make PSA 10 pop counts that much lower. People will get excited about that. I think the parallels, a lot of them look really good. Home field advantage is a really, really good design this year. I think it looks amazing. The only QC issue that I've seen so far from anybody was my hit out of my hobby box. And it was like a Juan Soto relic card with the camo patch in it, which was pretty cool. It's game worn, but the back edge was just completely jacked up. Like it was like folded up and scraped and lifted. It was like somebody like banged it on the edge of a table or something. And then it had 2 big gashes on top of it on the back. So I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to keep this no matter what. It's like a little PC card of Soto. But that's the only thing I've really seen. Nobody else in the shop was having any issues. People on the team were opening the product. It seemed like overall it was really solid. And like I said, the design to me is like, it's right up there. It's right up there with the top ones that they've done in the last 10 to 15 years. I still think I probably give the nod to 2018 over it, but 2018 also didn't have the usual borders, which is a little bit unique for a flagship product. So I think overall the execution was really good. The new novelties are really good. I think it's a really fun product.
Cutting the number of cards, I could see an argument for like a B+ or even a B score, just based on that, like kind of shrinkflation, not getting as many packs in hobby, not getting as many cards in jumbo, not getting as many cards in a lot of the retail configurations, most if not all of them. So that would be something where I would, if I was to do this again, maybe I would say B+ because of that. But you know what you're buying. You know, they didn't falsely advertise it this time, I don't believe, like what happened or almost happened last year to some other products.
Yeah, I think that's a good summary of the product. You know what you're buying, and for that, it's hard to be disappointed. Well, that's a good place to end it. Please comment below what you think of 2024 Top Series 1. If you've opened it, if you think we're too lenient on it, let us know what you think, what you've seen, and if you plan on buying more. And that's it. Let's leave it there. Anybody else want to add anything before we go?
I would just say, just tell us your favorite Golden Mirror images that you've seen. I'd love to hear your opinion on those. It's 330 of them, so I doubt we've seen them all. So please let us know which ones stand out to you.
Right. See if anybody else likes Scared Coals as much as Chris does. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you next time.